Yo, what is up guys, my name is BananaRaccoon and welcome to my PvP guide for Feral Druids in Shadowlands. In this guide, we're going to be going over the best races, talents, stat priorities, enchants and gems, covenants, soulbinds, conduits, legendaries, macros and rotations to play Feral as optimally as possible. But before we start, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. I get offered video sponsors all the time and I usually turn them down because I either don't like the product or it doesn't really interest me personally. But I've got to say, Raid Shadow Legends is great. I started playing a few weeks ago and I've not put it down since. I actually had to force myself to stop playing it to make this video. It's got great graphics, an immersive story with awesome voice acting and engaging turn-based combat with a plethora of champions with their own unique abilities. It's got a massive and active community which, as an MMO player, it really appeals to me. There are millions of players every month with over 1 million playing every day, over 100,000 members on their Discord, and over 40,000 members on Reddit. Easily one of the biggest and most helpful communities I've seen, so now is a great time to get started, which you can do by clicking the link in the description below. Now is also the perfect time to join as Raid's biggest update has come out, and with it, the new Doom Tower. A giant tower with 120 floors, secret challenges, and a ton of new bosses to face. And if that wasn't enough, to help you get started with the new Doom Tower and take on those bosses, the Raid team are giving away a special champion, Bulwark. So to get involved and get a head start, hit the link in the description below and you'll receive a free Void champion, an XP boost, 50 gems, some energy refills and even an ancient shard as soon as you get in game, as well as that sick Bulwark champion I mentioned earlier. And if that wasn't enough, you'll also get extra rewards in your inbox for the next 30 days. So come on and join Raid Shadow Legends. And now on with the guide. So let's start with races. For Alliance, the best race for Feral is Night Elf. Shadow Meld is insanely powerful, it lets you re-stealth to get rake stuns, and can be used to avoid spells like Chaos Bolt and Greater Pyroblast. And then on the Horde side, the best race is Tauren. Their War Stomp is a nice AoE stun that can be great to peel or extend or start CC chains, or to be used as a foe interrupt. Also, their endurance ratio that increases stamina can be really helpful for survival. Next, onto the talents. On the first row we have Predator, Sabertooth and Lunar Inspiration. Here you want to go with Sabertooth as the value it provides is insane. It causes Ferocious Bite to deal additional damage as well as extend the duration of Rip on the target. Next we have Tiger Dash, Renewal and Wild Charge. Here you'll pretty much always go with Wild Charge. Wild Charge is a really versatile gap closing and mobility ability that changes depending on what form you're in. In cat form you leap to your target and daze them, in bear form you charge your target and root them, in travel form you do a big leap, and then when not in a form you can fly to a friendly target. Wild Charge helps you stick to your target or to get some distance and kite. The only other talent I sometimes take is Renewal for the instant heal, but that's only really in niche situations like some 1v1 matchups or against comps where I don't really need Wild Charge when playing double DPS 2v2. On the third row we have our affinities, Balance, Guardian and Resto. Here you want to take either Guardian or Resto. Resto provides a nice peel with Ursul's Vortex, good passive healing, a decent healing cooldown with Swift Mend, and then Rejuvenation and Wild Growth to help off heal. And then Guardian is your go-to when you are the kill target, due to the passive 6% damage reduction it provides, and the really powerful healing cooldown, Frenzied Regeneration. The additional CC it provides with Incapacitate and Roar is also a really nice bonus and can help land kills or peel for your team. Next we have Mighty Bash, Mass Entanglement and Heart of the Wild. Here you'll always go with Mighty Bash or Heart of the Wild. Mighty Bash is a 4-second stun on a 60-second cooldown that can be either used to peel a target, add duration to a CC chain, or stun the kill target to prevent them from escaping and using defensives. Heart of the Wild is great when playing double DPS 2v2 as it pretty much turns you into a healer for 45 seconds on a 5-minute cooldown when paired with the Resto affinity. On the next tier we have Soul of the Forest, Savage Roar and Incarnation. In the current meta, Soul of the Forest is the best talent hands down. It increases the damage of our rips, ferocious bites and minions by 5%, as well as refunding energy when we use combo points. Next we have Scent of Blood, Brutal Slash and Primal Wrath. Here, you want to go Brutal Slash. It provides decent cleave damage and can be used to quickly build combo points as it is cheaper than Shred. And then finally we have Omen of Clarity, Blood Talons and Feral Frenzy. Here, you want to go Feral Frenzy. Feral Frenzy applies a bleed and gives you instant 5 combo points, providing you with big damage during burst windows. When it comes to honour talents, you will always want to take Ferocious Wound. It causes 5 combo point Ferocious Bites to reduce the target's maximum health by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. The value that this talent brings is insane. You will also want to take Leader of the Pack as it provides a buff to you and your group. The buff gives 5% crit chance, and then when someone with the buff crits, it heals them for 4% of their maximum health. And then when it comes to the third honor talent, you can switch it about a bit depending on your comp and the comp you're against. Savage Momentum can be good against casters, as all successful skull bashes reduce the cooldown of Tiger's Fury, Survival Instincts and Stampeding Roar by 10 seconds. Thorns gives great value when fighting melee cleaves in 3s, or when fighting a single melee in 2s to help create pressure or force them to swap to the target that doesn't have thorns. And then finally Strength of the World, which is usually my go-to, as it increases our healing on our partners, as well as making Bear form a bit stronger. Now onto the stat priorities. Ferals want to stack as much versatility as possible, then Mastery, then Crit and Haste. Versatility increases all of our damage and healing, as well as reducing the damage we take. Mastery increases all of our bleed and finishing move damage. Crit gives us a chance for our heals and damage to be 75% more effective. Haste reduces cast time and the global cooldown, increases our attack speed and energy regen, as well as causing our dots to tick faster. For enchants, you want to put Tenets of Versatility on your rings, Eternal Agility on your boots, Eternal Skirmish or Eternal Stats on your chest, Soul Vitality on your back, and Celestial Guidance on your weapon. You'll also want to fill any gem slots with Versatility. Next, onto the Covenants. For Ferals, there are two Covenants that are really popular in the current meta, Night Fae and Kyrian. Night Fae gives you the Convoke the Spirits ability, a super strong burst ability on a 2-minute cooldown, and the Soul Shape ability, a spell that turns you into a spirit and lets you blink and increases your movement speed. Kyrian gives you the Kindred Spirit ability that will increase your damage by 15% on a 1-minute cooldown, as well as health potions with Phial of Serenity that clears you of diseases and bleeds, as well as a big heal. Both Covenants have pros and cons. Personally, I'd say Night Fae is more fun, as it can feel great to just destroy someone, but it can be interrupted, which means to get the full value, you'll have to make sure you set up the burst window of stuns and CC properly. And then Kyrian is, in my opinion, the more reliable and overall better Covenant, as the damage increase is just a buff on a relatively short cooldown that lines up with every other Tiger's Fury, and the healing potion helps our survivability. Right now, the best Soulbinds are Dreamweaver for Night Fae, following this path, and Pelagos for Kyrian, following this path. However, later on in the season when we get high revoked, I can see Naya becoming strong, following this path. Now Conduits. For potency, you want to aim for Taste for Blood, Carnivorous Instinct, and then Conflux of Elements if you're Night Fae. Taste for Blood increases Ferocious Bite's damage for each bleed on the target, Carnivorous Instinct increases the damage bonus of Tiger's Fury, and Conflux of Elements increases Convoke the Spirit's damage. For Endurance, you want to aim for Well-Owned Instincts, Tough as Bark, and Innate Resolve. Well-Honed Instincts activates Frenzied Regeneration when you fall below 40% health, and that works in cat form. Tough as Bark reduces the cooldown of Bark Skin, and Innate Resolve increases our regrowth and Frenzied Regeneration healing. And then for Finesse, the only one you really want is Born of the Wilds to reduce the cooldown of Mighty Bash and Heart of the Wild. Next, Legendaries. There are two Legendaries that are worth looking at. Aya Fearful Symmetry and Oath of the Elder Druid. Aya Fearful Symmetry should be used most of the time. It causes our 2 finishes after using Tiger's Fury to refund 2 combo points. Oath of the Elder Druid increases our affinity passes by 75%, as well as giving us Heart of the Wild whenever we enter our affinity's form for 10 seconds every 1 minute. This can be good in some situations like duels or in some 2v2 matchups, but right now the best is easily Aya Fearful Symmetry for most situations. Next, macros. As we have quite a few damage modifiers, you want to make sure you put them in one macro to do huge burst. So my burst macro looks like this. Hash show tooltip berserk, /cast berserk, /cast Tiger's Fury, /cast lone empowerment if you're Kyrian, and then /use sinful aspirant's badge of ferocity or whatever your on-use damage trinket is called. Other than your burst macro, you mainly just want targeting macros like focus macros for Skull Bash, Cyclone, Mighty Bash, etc. Just type in /cast, open bracket, @focus, close bracket, and then the name of the ability. And then targeting macros to heal and dispel your partners like /cast, open bracket, @party1, close bracket, regrowth. And finally, the rotations. Ferals have a unique mechanic called snapshotting. Snapshotting causes our damage modifiers like Tiger's Fury and Blood Talons to permanently affect our bleeds. For example, Tiger's Fury increases damage dealt by 15%, bleeds applied with Tiger's Fury active will receive that damage increase for their entire duration. So unless you want to save Tiger's Fury for a burst window, you'll want to make sure your bleeds are under the effect of as many damage modifiers as possible. So the standard opener will go like this: Prowl, Rake Stun, Thrash, Brutal Slash or Shred of 4 or 5 combo points, Tiger's Fury, and then Rip. And then if you want to do a bit of burst as well, you can follow that by Feral Frenzy and a Ferocious Bite. And then after that, make sure you keep up your bleeds at all times, use Ferocious Bite when you're 50 energy or more, and use Brutal Slash and Shred to build combo points, making sure to line your Tiger's Fury up with burst windows and finishers. So that's it for my Shadowlands Feral PvP guide. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or head over to my live stream at twitch.tv/BananaRaccoonTV and I'll be able to answer them live. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel as I upload as regularly as I can, and thank you for watching.